For this task, I'm going to draw repeated patterns, but this time I'm going to let the user specify how many sides each shape should have and how many shapes to draw. So I'm going to start with when clicked as before. Now, because I'm asking the user for data, I need to have some variables to store their answers. So I'm going to make a variable. I'm going to call this one sides, and that's going to store the number of sides on each shape. I'm going to make another one, and I'm going to call this shapes, and this is going to store the number of shapes. So now I've got my variables to store the data. There's ticks in them, so they're displaying on screen. I don't particularly want them to display on screen, so I'm going to take the ticks out. So the next thing I need to do is using my pen tools. Well, I need to actually motion. I'm going to go to the center of the screen first of all, so I'm just going to go to 0, 0. Then I'm going to use my pen tools. I need to clear the canvas from the previous attempt. I'm going to put my pen down. I'm going to set my pen color to I'm going to have pink again. I'm going to set my pen size. I'm going to have 2. That's my pen size. Now I need to ask the user how many sides they'd like for their shape. So I need to go under sensing, isn't it? Ask. There it is. And I'm going to say how many sides for each shape. And then I'm going to wait, and now I need to pick up their answer and assign that to the sides variable. So answer equals sides. Okay, now I need to ask them how many shapes. How many shapes? And again, I need to assign that to my variable, so I need to set shapes equal to whatever their answer is. So now I've got the sides, the number of sides, the number of shapes. Now I can create my repeat loops to draw those sides. So the outer loop controls the number of shapes. So instead of repeating 10 times, I want to repeat it however many shapes I've got times. And the inner loop draws the shape, each individual shape, so I need to repeat that however many sides I need on each shape. So I'm going to need to move a certain number of steps. I'm going to say 75, I think, and I need to turn. Now the number of degrees I need to turn through depends on how many sides I've got. It needs to be 360 degrees, the number of degrees in a circle, divided by the number of sides. So I'm going to need to use an operator, and I'm going to turn not through any number of degrees, but 360 divided by however many sides I've got. I'm going to put a delay in as before so that I can see it happening. So I'm just going to make the delay 0.2 seconds. And between each shape, I need to turn a certain amount as before. So I'm going to turn. Now this time, instead of turning through a fixed number, I want to turn through 360 degrees divided by the number of shapes that I have. So I need another divide by, and it's going to be 360 degrees divided by the number of shapes. So hopefully that should draw my pattern, and it should ask me how many shapes and how many sides. So how many sides? I'm going to go with 5. Oh, I can see I've spelt that wrong, so I'll have to correct that in a minute. So 5 shapes, 5 sides. I'm going to go with 8 shapes. And there we are. It's my 5-sided shape, which it's drawing 8 times. Just need to correct that. How many sides? That should say 4 each shape. Change my, I don't know why my pen size is coming out quite so thick, but we'll just try that. So let's try it again. So I should be able to have any number of sides. So I'm going to go with 7 this time. Any number of shapes. I'm going to have 10 this time. And here I have 7-sided shapes, and I'm going to get 10 of them. There it goes. I could also do other things like change the colour of my pen as it goes round, because under the pen tools I have the option to change pen shade, so I can include that if I wanted to. So you can experiment with different number of sides, different number of shapes, different pen colours. It's up to you. Just try and make an interesting pattern.